Hello and welcome to a patch notes update for the test server for April 2022. And like always, when I do these test server patch note videos, this is usually what goes live in the next patch. So anything you see here will probably go verbatim live, and I will do a diff between this one and whatever the live version is and go over that if there is any changes in a follow-up video when that comes out. But this is usually what comes with the patch verbatim. So let's go ahead and let's look at the highlights. 2 more missions for the 23rd anniversary. All right, that sounds pretty interesting. I have been totally slacking, and I have not done enough of these anniversary quests, so that's something I need to get to work on. See, replay timers will now apply their full duration upon completion of the associated tasks. I've seen in some cases where I will get if it's a 3-hour timer, I'll get like a 2-hour and 30-minute timer or something like that sometimes. So I think maybe that's what that fixes. All NPCs have had their body type reviewed and adjusted, and I'll go over that when we get to that section. They changed a lot of things related to that. All right, items processing gizmo, oiled cog, flickering Fickenheim are now flagged as quest items. Interesting. I'm not sure what quest line that is, so that'll be helpful for whoever's doing that. See, Choker of Entropy has its AC adjusted to be more in line with intentions, so I don't know if that's a nerf or a buff. Hopefully it's a buff. The Honed Wormslayer Invested Honed Wormslayer will now no longer apply their effect on players under the required level. So there's got to be a mole in the Discord. This was something that was talked about quite a bit. The Wormslayers from the Empires of Kunark, I believe, expansion, they give a buff that removes, I think, 1500 damage from each attack with no like cooldown, which at level 105, that's nothing. That's like a 15-point damage. But at level 1, when you can use this, you're like god mode until like around like at level 80 or so. So it's pretty interesting. Someone is going to try to send me one of those to show a video on that, so we'll see if that happens. See, Tidal Force and Eclipsed Light Armor Ornaments now show correctly when equipped on Froglocks. Okay. Blessed Akivian Shadow Shears can now be converted to a version without stats and is usable by all classes and races. This is so anybody can take advantage of the tailoring mod. I believe this is a Shadows of Luckland item that has like a 15% mod to tailoring. I believe that's what this item is. Magnetic Ciceloid saddle size when placed in a housing plot will now much better match the size of the Ciceloid. Okay. Remove the concept of recommended skill on equipment and added require recommended levels for Gauntlets of Bloodfiend, Griddle of Magnificence, Helm of the Vampiric Trader, Jiskel's Verant Blade, Caddis Staff of Peace, altered the statistics on Swarm Pets, Summoned by Vicious Rabbit, Flute of the Dead, Burned Rabbit Foot, Vander's Bane, Rune of Talon, Spiked Scalp, Scale Whip, Invested Scale Whip. Reduced the health and DPS, so that's a nerf to those clicky Swarm Pets. Okay, quests and events. Close the gate. Raid. When Flylaco dies, his aura will despawn. Alright. See here. Masked Invaders raid. In the Underfoot will no longer spawn a chest. Okay. Before the raid starts. That's interesting. Mad Emperor raid. This is one of the anniversary ones, I think. Correct an issue that caused event lockout triggered by a definite PC rather than the chest. See here. Credit should be given for completing everything for the last achievement. All right. Added Risky Rat Rescue by Drifter in the Nexus. Added Whispers in the Dark by someone in Charleval. Primal Vampire, this is a raid. Blood Rage effect will be removed on success and reset. So, cause some issues with charm, I guess. Alright, a 10 raw. Raid, updated based on the pop size. Now they drop luck augments. Okay, nice. See here. So, temple, let's see, different. Okay, this is the specializations. They're changing the way specializations work, I guess. You know, no longer costs a ruby to go reset those, and I actually need to do that, so I might wait until next patch to save a ruby. But these are specializations let you to conserve a little mana when you're casting spells of that spell line, and it used to cost a ruby to reset which one your highest ones were. Alright, tasks with a replay timer between 1 and 6 hours had the replay timer reduced by 20%. That's very nice. More tasks to do. Less time to wait in between. Replay timers will now apply their full duration. So I think that kind of is like a negative sum maybe, since you never really got the full 6 hours sometimes on some of these tasks. So taking some of those down, we'll see. Now this is what I'm excited for. Necromancer increased to maximum level. Focus limiter for Flesh to Venom from 115 to 120. Chaotic power 10 used by Proclamation of Blood now has no maximum level cap. So this is this fixes the Proclamation. I was always casting it, but it never really seemed to do much extra. So now it's effectiveness and it's slightly more powerful. So that's hopefully a nice little buff for Necromancers. We'll see. Hoping to start playing him again soon. Get him moved over to Verant with everybody else. Let's see here. Ranger, strength of the Dusk Sage Stalker should no longer override production of the Valley, vice versa. Each will once again prevent the other from landing. Should be true for all spells in the line. Alright. Paladin increased the damage and mana cost of Doctrine of Annulment. Okay. I wonder how much that changes. Responsive Spirit, Attentive Spirit buffs. Healing ability will work with if the caster is sitting and ducking. The conditions are met. Oh yeah, there was a bug on one of these skills. If you were like ducking, it was like an AA thing, and if you were ducking, it didn't work for anybody, even though it was like an area of effect AA that's got like a object in the world casting it or something like that. It was kind of weird. I read that in, I guess, a different version of these notes. Shadow Knight, Remorselessness now focuses life tap spells up to 120. That's a Shadow Knight buff right there to fix those spells from not working. Chanter fixed several errors in the descriptions of subjugate and later spells. Correct an issue with effects such as Restless Ice not being removed when respawning. I've had that happen before. Made the following changes to specialization skills. Here we go. Corrected an issue where the difference in specialization skills slowly disappeared, starting with level 191, having completely eliminated by 120. Once a player is over 20, their secondary forte will be set to 50 below the primary, while this third one is 100 below. This should smooth out the difference between 1 and 120. So I guess just making it a little bit nicer to use, I guess. I don't know. And then characters over 90 who had their third and fourth and fifth specializations to be updated between the cap, I guess. So it sounds like an overall positive change. I'm not 100% sure though. NPCs. All NPCs have had their body type reviewed, so it looks like everything got moved into different categories to kind of make more sense. And this kind of like helps with, I think it enables more mobs to be headshot, assassinated, and the berserkers have one too, decapitated, I think. So remove the distinction between summoned elementals and other constructs, other animals like lycanthropes and other humanoids, vampires and undead, and dragons. Everything got changed. It's like pretty much just every kind of creature. So all creatures that are not humanoid require a magic weapon to attack. So that's seems like a big change. There's a lot of comments on this this post about all of these changes. So definitely, if you're interested, read through all of them. People are worried about level 1s not being able to kill skeletons and stuff like that. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that works. But I think there was a bug where guards could not kill skeletons. So see special damage targets such as Greater Kiva, Draz, Nura, and Zeke. So that's the giants and giant shade-looking mobs and Lucklin. See animals, non-magic living organisms, not plants, not quite humanoids. Construct element, conjured elementals, clockworks, animated matter. Dragons, you know, all the dragons. So they're all just in different categories now. Extraplanar, so like gods and stuff like that go in that category. So there might be setting this up for like in future expansions to do something with this, and hopefully have more undead targets, more backstabbable, headshotable targets and stuff like that. So I think seems to be kind of some of the intention on this, but it's not 100% transparent. Progression servers, Omens of War will open on June 1st instead of May 25th on Mischief and Thornblade. Prophecy of Ro will open June 1st instead of May 25th on Eridune and Rizlona. Remove the AFK kick on Thornblade, and out of combat regen will be available at Gates at Discord. I believe May 25th is when the new TLPs launch, so maybe they're trying to kind of break some of that congestion that might be happening all at once across some of these servers. Miscellaneous fixed an issue that would prevent new zone instances from properly starting, which reduced the load on zone servers. Fixed a bug that could prevent auras from detecting players. This resolved issues where sometimes are unable to enter the Guardian, Caves the Endless Song, or activate their guild hall portal. Fixed a bug that prevented mounted vendors from properly being hidden when the traders, bartender, or barterers is set. Pets of hidden vendors will now be hidden as well. Okay, so I think that's for traders in the bazaar. Potentially fixed client crash that could occur when processing buffs and raids. Fixed an issue where pet illusion items would not properly summon the familiar when targeting another player. Interesting. UI updated the pet window to use a single template for buffs. Added chat message when your pet's spells are resisted. This message uses pet spells chat filter and is only visible to the pet's owner. The fellowship window will now display the correct last online time for leaders. Added parcels to the find item window. Added a clear tab text option to the chat window. Context right click menu. Shortcut for clear chat. And then these are the UIs that were changed. Templates, pet info, and advanced display stuff. So overall, it's going to be an interesting little patch. Some nerfs, some buffs, new spells, new quests, or not new spells, new quests. Lots of fixes to some spells, and these ones right here, like for these necromancers, it's really turned me off from wanting to play my necromancer. Right, like I didn't gain as much power at 120 as some of my other characters did, and it's I think a lot related to these right here. And some of the other ones they fixed over all the last few patches. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, that is the test server patch notes for April. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.